Okay, so raise your hand, fam, if you're sick and tired of Universal getting a pass on everything. Raise your hand. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome to another episode of OG 55. In this video, we're going to talk about double standards. Okay, I'm going to take you to the school of the OG 55. We're going to talk about today's lecture is going to be double standards. Okay, so this is the thing that's bothered me, and it doesn't just bother me in regards to Disney versus Universal. Double standards in general really bug the shit out of me, which is why I've spent many videos, many hours harping on the whole Daddy Josh thing. Josh D'Amaro, it's a double standard. He can do things that Bob Chapek could not do, right? Because he's handsome, he's good looking, so therefore it's okay. He has permission to make mistakes and to, the whole thing. You've heard me go on and on about that many times. But the same thing can be said about Universal. The same thing can be said about Universal, or really just about any theme park or amusement park that isn't Disney. One of the biggest, most egregious examples of this double standard was during that Florida Bill debacle, right? All the activists were like, yeah, and the fans, right? The theme park fans were like, Disney needs to make a comment. Disney needs to make a comment. Disney needs to stand up against the bill. Disney needs to stand up against the bill. It was a constant drumbeat, and that's fine. I respect that. If you have a belief, right, a value system, and that's in your core, and you're an activist and you're fighting for what you believe in, more power to you. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody that does that. But if you're going to do that, then you have to hold everybody and every company accountable for doing the thing that you're complaining about. For example, Disney donated money to Republicans that supported the Florida bill. But what a lot of people don't know is that Comcast Universal donated even more money to the same politicians. Now, the level of outrage from fandom in regards to Disney was not equal to that of Universal. And I hear all the uni fanboys and kind of trying to justify this. Well, yeah, but Universal doesn't really push the political stuff. Come on. They push the social narratives just as much as Disney. They just released a movie called Bros. They went through that whole drama with G4, which was Comcast. If you go on their website, they push the social responsibility stuff on their company website, just like Disney does, right? But for some reason, they got permission by fans and activists to just whatever they want is fine. Whatever they want is fine. And that works against your cause, right? Like if you are really all in on this cause and you're really trying to repeal the bill or work against the bill politically and use your voice to really kind of to make that change, right? You want to make sure that it's not just directed at one party. You want to make sure that all parties are really being called out, right? Because look, let's be honest, Comcast Universal is not a mom and pop organization. It's a huge multinational megacorp, just like Disney. And they're number 2 in the Orlando market, and they're massive. I mean, all I hear from Universal fans is that how big Universal is getting, how big they're getting, and they're really making Disney nervous. Well, let's hold them to the same standard then. Let's hold Universal to the same standard. But no one ever does that. And it's not just the Florida bill. It's with quality as well. It's with ops. It's with pricing, all of it. Universal raises prices, it's crickets. You can hear a mouse piss on a cotton ball when Universal raises prices, but my God, when Disney raises prices, it's everywhere, right? A friend of ours, friend of the channel, Sean, Ranking the Mouse, I commend him for this tweet. One of the few tweets that actually criticizes Universal. Oh my God. He says, as much as I love Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, the operations around the park during the day are horrible. Insane crowds and wait times that are off by 30 plus minutes. Now remember, when wait times are off at Disney, everyone on Diz Twitter and social media, they start to scream about, oh, they're being shady. They're trying to bolster the Genie Plus numbers, right? Where's the chorus of outrage with Universal when they do this? When their wait times are off by 30 plus minutes, no one's suggesting at all. I don't even hear about it. Sean is the only one that I've been hearing on social media even calling this out. And he goes on to say something they really have to clean up, especially with the daytime prices they're charging. Yeah, Universal is not that much cheaper than Disney. I know there's a narrative out there. I know that Disney is the most expensive and it's Disney bad and bald man bad and Disney so greedy. But Universal isn't that much better with pricing. You wouldn't know that from the fandom because no one talks about Universal's pricing, but Universal is not that much cheaper. And they have crappy ops, apparently, according to Sean, just like Disney does right now, right? Just like Disney does. But again, you don't hear about that. And here's the thing. A lot of you are going to get in the comments. I already know the justification, the excuse making for Universal. Well, OG, I mean, let's be honest, Universal isn't quite Disney level. So we kind of give them a little bit of a pass. See, that doesn't work though. Because you know what? All I'm hearing constantly is how Universal is not only meeting Disney's standards, but surpassing them. And Epic Universe is going to take Disney down a couple notches because it's just going to be so good and all this stuff. And Universal, their quality is better than Disney. They innovate now. Disney doesn't innovate. You can't have that narrative. You can't say Universal is on par or better than Disney, but then turn around and fall back on, well, we can't hold them to the same standard when they fuck up. Okay, it doesn't work like that. And that's the kind of like have your cake and eat it too kind of mentality that a lot of fans have with Universal. And it really, really drives me nuts. Now, here's the thing. I want to set the record straight. I do not hate Universal. I always have a great time at Universal. I love Universal Studios Hollywood. The tram tour is chef's kiss, baby. I love it. I love going to that park. It's refreshing to go to something other than Disney now and then. All I'm asking is some intellectual honesty, some honest discussion in the fandom though regarding this company, and I'm not seeing it. It's this participation trophy kind of discussion where because they're number 2, everything is okay, Universal. You can release anything and we're going to make 15 different excuses as to why that bad thing was okay because you're not the big bad mouse. Right? You're not the big bad mouse. So anything you do, Universal, is A-okay and we love it. And it's like taboo to even question. Look, I've been saying on this channel for a long time now that the Epic Universe project is not a guaranteed win. It is not a guaranteed win. That's a huge investment for Universal. And I respect that. They're spending money and I respect that. But the narrative in the fandom is that Disney is the one that's going to be fucked automatically. And that's just not true. When Islands of Adventure opened in the late 90s, it didn't really do that well. And it really wasn't until Harry Potter in like 2008, where that park really started to gain traction. So this narrative that, well, if this is Epic Universe is just, they're going to open it and it's just going to be a huge success and it's just impossible. There's no other way it could end up otherwise. It's baloney. It's absolute baloney. It's absolute baloney. There is very much a real chance this park, Epic Universe, cannibalizes Universal's parks and doesn't really impact Disney. But you don't know that if you're on social media, if you're on Diz Twitter, and you're going through the fandom online, you'd never know that. You'd never, ever know that. So again, this video is not to bash Universal. It's just to like encourage fans. Let's have a little bit of intellectual honesty when discussing these parks. It's good to criticize Disney. It makes Disney better. But at the same time, it's good to criticize Universal. It's okay to admit that Universal fucks up sometimes. It's okay to say, hey, look, you know what? Universal Hollywood needed more family rides. And when they finally build a family ride, Secret Life of Pets, they shit the bed by putting such a restrictive ride system that like most people can't even fit in because of size reasons or whatever. So they undo all the work that they put into it. Like you have this big family ride because you want to attract a more variety of guests, but you limit that variety out the gate with this ridiculous lap bar thing that they have, in place for those ride vehicles. That's the kind of stuff that fans never talk about with Universal. If that was Disney, could you imagine if Disney built a dark ride, a Mickey Minnie Runaway Railway that had this contraption, this massive restrictive seating arrangement that were leaving bigger guests out of the equation and was limiting who can go on that attraction and not being inclusive? Could you imagine if that was Disney? Oh my God, people would be screaming from the mountaintops. But it's Universal, so we don't care. We don't care. It's all good. We love Comcast. Anyway, I've ranted for long enough, but I know a lot of you are out there. I know a lot of you are feeling what I'm feeling, a frustration with the double standard. And I want you to comment down below. If you're feeling that frustration, if all you want is an honest dialogue, an honest discussion about these parks where we can openly praise and criticize Disney and Universal, comment down below. I would love to hear from you. And as always, at OG55, we welcome all opinions, as long as you're civil, though. You got it. Don't be a ball bag. Don't be a ball bag in the comments. Be civil. Talk it out. That's why I created this channel, so us nerds can get together and talk about all this stuff and just have a real good time. But I do appreciate the last 6 years. Everyone has been phenomenal, made a lot of great friends, and I appreciate all support, whether you like, share, comment on the video, send a super chat, whatever you do to show your support. We at OG55 really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Love you guys.